Hey guys, how's it going? So I watch these investment channels where they're teaching you how to buy real estate, they're teaching you how to buy and sell stocks. And the idea is that you buy these assets so that you could build wealth. Well, some of these things are a little bit out of reach for most people. I mean, anyone can get a Robinhood account and buy stock, I guess, but you're not going to have a significant amount of money to buy that stock and to build your wealth until a little bit later in life when you've accumulated more. Same with buying a house. You have to have good credit, you have to have a down payment, and you have to make these house payments ongoing for many, many years before you start to build wealth and wait for the house to appreciate. A lot of people have a hard time getting off of zero. Most people can't come up with $400 in case of an emergency. Like more than half of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So how do you get off of zero besides racking up huge student loan bills and having good credit and saving up a down payment or investing in the stock market over 40 years? Well, I've figured out a good way to do it. At least I think so. And my method is in line with all of these other investment principles. So the first step is you want to sign up for my course so I can teach you all my secrets, and you're going to be a billionaire before you know it. It's absolutely possible. Links down below. No, I'm just messing around. I don't have anything to sell. But basically, the whole idea of investing, the whole concept, I could break it down like this. You buy something that's worth more than what you pay for it. So you find someone who wants to get rid of it quickly. You want to find someone who needs money right away. Or you want to buy stock when the stock market goes down, but you know the stock's actually worth more than what the current price is, because it fluctuates every day. So you wait for it to dip and then you buy it on a low part. People do this with house flipping. If someone dies and they need to put up the house for sale and the family just wants to get rid of it as soon as possible, they might be willing to take a cut. Maybe someone gets divorced and they need to get out of the house quick. Maybe they lose their job and they're going to go into foreclosure or whatever. So they sell the house under value and they just want to get rid of it quickly. So those are the opportunities that you look for, right? Now, once you acquire this asset, say it's a house, you bought it under value. Well, you put a little bit of money into it, build the value up, and then you sell it as high as you possibly can, and then there's your margin. That's where you made your profit. Same with stocks. You buy it on the low part, and then you sell it when it gets up higher, or you hang on to it for a long time, and then it will grow and grow and grow. And stocks are kind of cool because they have these things called dividends, where the company will actually cut you a check quarterly or whatever based on their profits. Not all stocks do this, but that's a cool way to go because you're going to be getting paid as you keep the stock. The stock's going to go up in value, but then as you hold it, you're going to be getting checks quarterly from the profits. Now, let's say you're going to buy a business. Maybe there's an old guy who's getting ready to retire. Maybe he doesn't have solid systems and processes, but you, a young, inspiring business person who learns a lot from me, you understand how to improve a business, right? So you can buy the business under value, implement processes and procedures, buy some new tools, get some new customers, whatever. Then you can relist that business for sale on a website called BizBuySell, for example, bizbuysell.com. So you buy the business under value, fix it up, now it's worth a little bit more, and you sell it and you profit. So this concept applies basically to all types of investing. But what do? You don't have enough money to buy a whole business. You don't have enough money to buy a house and to flip it. This is something that I did recently, which is why I thought of it, but I've done it the entire time I've owned my business, and I built my business on this fundamental principle. So this last week, online, I saw a wide area vacuum for sale. Now, it's 28 inches long, which is a lot bigger than your typical vacuum. In my business, I own a commercial cleaning company, so we do a lot of vacuuming. So if I can get a vacuum that's double or triple the size of my regular vacuum, it's going to cut down on my time that I spend vacuuming by double or triple the time. So I found this vacuum for $50 on Facebook Marketplace. And it's from a guy who owns a cleaning company, a great guy. I met up with him, talked to him. We had a good conversation about the janitorial business. But his business is slowed down, so he doesn't need these vacuums. He needs the cash. So I met up with him, And I didn't haggle with him. I didn't barter. I didn't try and beat him down on the price. He was selling it for 50 bucks. So I offered him 50 bucks for the vacuum. Now, the cool thing is, this vacuum is around $2,000 brand new. I looked it up before I went to go buy it. But if I were to sell it used, I found a used one on eBay for somewhere around $1,000. So I bought an asset that's worth $1,000 and it only cost me $50. So now my net worth just jumped up by almost $1,000 by making a $50 purchase. I literally could just turn around right now and sell this thing for $1,000 on eBay. But I'm going to hang on to this thing and I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it for a really long time. This is a heavy duty industrial machine that's going to last a long, long time. I've had vacuums last 7 years. I've been in business 7 years. I've had vacuums that have lasted 7 years so far. So I've got some really big buildings that we clean. And literally the very first night that we used it, I cut down my cleaning time by 50%. And I literally saved more than $50 in labor. Think about it. If I have to pay someone around $15 or $16 an hour, I only need to save about 4 hours of vacuuming. Boom, I made my money back instantly. So now this vacuum, it literally cost me no money at all, but it's worth $1,000. So back to my point, I can get rid of that vacuum 5 years down the road and I could probably sell it for $500. That's 1,000% return on my investment. Now, if you're going to invest in the stock market, a really good return is like 12%. And if you're actively trading and you're trying to pick your own stocks and stuff, you might expect to make around 20%. Same thing in real estate. You know, if you buy a rental property, you rent it out over time, I think a good rate of return's probably still going to be right around 12%. You guys might disagree on all these numbers. Well, there's a lot of different opinions out there, but from what I understand, that those are the typical rates of return. So by buying this small little thing for $500, for $50, I could turn it into $500 after I've used it to save money the entire time I've owned it. I get 1,000% return on my money. That is accessible to anybody. Anybody could find vacuums like this. Anyone could go out and buy mop buckets. Anybody can buy, get away from the cleaning business. I happen to own a cleaning business, so that's what I like to talk about. But if you're a contractor, you can go out and buy ladders, you could buy scaffolding, you could buy paintbrushes, you could buy the air compressor so you could paint. It doesn't matter. You could buy tools used online for dirt cheap, especially if someone's going out of business, if they need the money quick or it's an estate sale. Then use that tool the entire time you own it. And then you could turn around and sell it at the end of its use to you. And then you can upgrade to new stuff. So you've seen people, at least I have. I know Gary Vee got really into flipping, going to garage sales and looking for junk to turn around and sell online. This is sort of in line with that, except for he missed a critical business component. And he's a magnificent businessman. Everyone respects him. He's on TV talking about business. He missed the fact where you can buy these things under value and then use them to make money, then sell them later for way more than what you paid for it. It's such an obvious thing, and I think that any good businessman would probably realize this, but for some reason that just popped right out of his mind and he didn't realize this fact. Anyway, I've done this in every area of my business. I have a floor buffer that I got because I did a job and the customer didn't have enough money to pay me. So I got that floor buffer for free that night in exchange for the work. And I've used that floor buffer for 7 years. I've got a new one now that's like top of the line, really nice. I haven't made a video about it, but that first one I got for free. All of a sudden my net worth jumped up by like $500 because that's what the buffer's worth. And then I used it for years and I've probably made over $500,000 just with that one machine alone. I've done it with carpet cleaning machines. I've done it with big wet vacs. I've done it with vans, and trucks, where I buy a truck way under value. I use it for as long as I possibly can, and then I sell it for more than I paid for it. Now, the van that I'm in right now is actually a brand new van. I should make a video about that soon, but this is a brand new 2020 Chevy Express 2500. It's a beautiful van. And I did not start with a brand new van. I did not start with really nice equipment. The very first mop buckets I owned, I helped a guy move a picnic table. My friend wanted a picnic table, and he knew a guy who was getting rid of his business, and he had this picnic table in the break room, and I had a truck, so I went over there and I helped my buddy out, and I saw this mop bucket. I'm like, dude, you're getting rid of the picnic table because you're going out of business. What are you doing with that mop bucket? And he's like, oh man, you're helping move this picnic table, just go ahead and take it. I got a couple mop buckets, just take them. And that's literally how I got my very first mop buckets. I did not pay for them. And then I used them for years and years and years, made so much money with them. I still own them. I mean, I got 1 billion mop buckets now, but I still own those originals. And those were the very first goals that I set, right? I wasn't trying to save up a big ass down payment for a piece of real estate. I wasn't trying to save up 40 years over my lifetime investing in the stock market. I set my sights on, how can I get a free mop bucket? How can I get very cheap backpack vacuums? And then not only was my net worth going up at a very small rate, you know, if I buy that wide area vacuum for $50, but I could sell it for $500, my net worth jumped up by $500, not that much. But by acquiring all these tools over time, all of a sudden my earning potential goes way up. Sometimes with some of the equipment that I own, I've got an auto scrubber, I can make $700 an hour every time I use that thing. And so my earning potential goes way up, plus my net worth is climbing up the whole time because I'm buying all this equipment. And then with the money I'm making, I'm able to buy a lot better equipment. But this is how you do it. That's literally how you do it. So don't get intimidated by these fancy investment programs you need to sign up for. Don't get suckered into how to flip houses and stuff like that. Although it's probably not a bad idea to do that kind of thing. But think about real estate, right? I'm getting off track. I'm going back to what I was already talking about. You buy a piece of property under value. You fix it up. Then you could sell it. But you could also rent it out for a long time. And now you're collecting rents the entire time. So you got a little bit of cash flow coming in, and it's appreciating over time, and then you sell it. So this is literally how you invest. And so don't look down on buying weird little tools and learning how to use them and teaching yourself to increase your income and then selling those tools later. So anyway, guys, if you want to do what you want, when you want, how you want, where you want, and how much you want, subscribe to my channel. By the way, I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. So it might take me a long time, but I probably will get there at some point. So if you want to help me out, I would really appreciate that. And that's a little goal that I have. And if you have business goals and financial goals, I hope to help you reach those goals. So if you can help me reach mine, I would really appreciate it. So thank you guys. Talk to you next time.